What is going on, guys? I'm Skits from Explicit Tutorials, and today I'm going to be showing you guys the best competitive settings and gear for Apex Legends. Of course, this video will be split into two parts, that being settings and gear. Also, before we start, I want to make it clear that these are the best settings for getting a competitive advantage in Apex Legends, and they are not necessarily the best for FPS. Performance, of course, does play a big role in getting the edge, but we already have another video about how to increase it. So in this one, we're only gonna talk about the settings and the gear. Enjoy! Starting off, you want to go into Windows search bar and type in mouse. Once you're here, click additional mouse options. Now go to pointer options and make sure enhanced pointer precision is disabled. Apply the changes and exit. This will disable all mouse acceleration as it will only make your aim worse and more inconsistent. Moving on, for Nvidia users, right click the desktop and go to the Nvidia control panel. Once you're in here, you want to click adjust desktop color settings, and in here you want to set digital vibrance somewhere between 75 and 100%. For AMD users, you go into the Radeon settings and you need to find saturation. It's basically the same thing. At first, it will look a little weird and colorful, but once you get used to it, you'll be able to see enemies a lot easier than before. Once you're done with saturation, go into Origin and go to Application Settings. In here, you want to navigate to the Origin in-game tab and disable Origin in-game. All it will do is cause lag, and I seriously doubt anyone uses the Origin browser while playing Apex. After you've opened up Apex Legends, go into the video settings, and under your resolution you want to set it to whatever is native to your monitor. For me, it's 1920 by 1080. If you want the biggest advantage, you also want to drag the FOV slider all the way up and disable sprint view shake. In the advanced section, disable VSync and make sure anti-aliasing is on TSAA and texture filtering is 4 times. Everything else is preference, but my settings are the best for FPS. Under gameplay, set the prompt style to compact, button hints to off, crosshair damage feedback to X with a shield icon, and in my opinion, damage numbers should be set to floating just like they are in Fortnite. This way, you'll know how much damage each bullet is doing and not just the total amount of damage you've dealt. Pretty much everything else here is preference. However, I've heard that some people like to play with colorblind mode on because it can help you to see enemies. I can see how it helps, but personally I like my game to look nice as well, and this mode just seems to strain my eyes more than anything. Under controls, the main thing you want to change is the tactical and ultimate ability binds to your mouse keys. They're easier to access and don't require you to take your hand off of a movement key to use. Also, it's better to use aim down sight hold rather than toggle because you will be able to quickly aim down and out of the sight if you need to. Now, to find your sensitivity if you don't already have one, you want to go into the training ground and find one of these shooting targets. In every game, there's one sensitivity which will fit almost all players, and that's the 360 sensitivity. So to find it, just look at the middle of the target and go from one side of the mousepad to the other until it returns to around the same spot. This sensitivity will make sure that if anyone shoots you from the back, you'll be able to quickly turn a 180 without even using half your mousepad. So it's an overall good sensitivity to have. Keep in mind though, in the end it's personal preference, and I myself like my sensitivity a bit higher in Apex, so I bump it up to a 420-degree turn. Well, that's all I have to say about the settings part, and now I'll be guiding you into spending all your money on gaming gear so you can use those bright as fuck RGB lights to blind all your enemies. So first thing you should be thinking about when buying gaming gear is a mouse. There are two key factors when buying one, and number one is the sensor. You want your mouse to have a perfect sensor. And by this, I mean you want a mouse that is accurate, has no acceleration, and doesn't give you motion sickness when you flick it. This is why I've linked the list down below containing all the mice with perfect sensors. Number 2 is the shape. It's very important when choosing a mouse to account for the size of your hand. The best way to do this is by simply going to the PC shop and trying out different mice to see which one feels best for you. If you're a nerd, which I'm assuming you are since you clicked on this shit, then you can measure your hand and see what mice would be good for you, and I'll link a website made by Rocket Jump Ninja, a fellow YouTuber, about a hand size guide. All credits go to him for this one. Now you've got your epic gamer mouse, but you still can't hit shit. That's because you're playing on a very high sensitivity. But I just told you what sensitivity to use. Well then, you probably have a small mousepad, which is the next thing you should invest in. Now when buying a mousepad, there's no need to get anything expensive or flashy. Just make sure it's big and that it's comfortable for your hand. So now you've got a great mouse and a pretty low sensitivity, but you still can't shoot for shit. I know, it must be the refresh rate, right? All the big boys nowadays are playing on 144Hz and you're stuck here on 60. So go out into the PC store again and buy the cheapest possible 144Hz monitor, because only the refresh rate matters when it comes to tryharding. The last thing you need to make your desk look like a spaceship terminal is a good keyboard. Now seriously, keyboards are not that important when it comes to playing, however, a mechanical keyboard will always outperform a membrane one. So if you can afford it, go ahead and buy a mechanical keyboard. Preferably Cherry MX, and you should be good to go. And if you still can't kill people, don't worry, Apex will already be dead by the time you buy all this shit anyways. Well then, that's it for this video guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.